Bom dia. We are back again. Now it's time. We're back from our trip to the Azores. We have one day to prepare for the next drifting. This is another fun drift day. It's a private day. There's only 4 of us that are going to be there. Should be a lot of fun. But I got to fix the damage, the problems I created. So let's have a look. I already took some of it apart so I can show you guys kind of what's going on and what we got to do. So as you can see, the arm is clearly bent, which we knew, but once you get it apart, it gives a better idea of what happened. It crinkled right there. The arm was obviously cut, modified, reinforced, and the only place that it wasn't reinforced is where it decided to bend. But aside from that, everything looks pretty good, other than this arm, which is here, slightly bent, but that's not even that big of a deal. That actually just helps to give it more clearance. But what we found is that there was a ton of play in the front because this ball walked out of its hole. And this hole was stretched out a lot more than that. I've already bent it a little bit. Pintu was like, well, just get it back in there. Bend it, make it work. So what I found is that the shape of this hole is just barely not round enough. And I kept trying to tweak it and bend it. And I got to the point where I felt like it was going to start going the opposite direction and start getting too small. So I'm tapering the edge of this a little bit so I can get it to slip in there, and then we'll go over the press, slide it in there, and if it stays, then it stays. If not, we'll put a couple of little tack welds on it and then put it back in place, align the car, and it should be good to go. The next thing is to go figure out what we're going to do with that arm, but first things first, we got to get this figured out. One thing that I noticed is since all the power tools here run on 220 volts, it seems like they're more powerful, which is crazy, right? But what? Yes, they are. It is. But like this grinder has a pretty good kick to it. The chop saw, cutoff saw has a pretty good kick to it. Because everything we use, other than our our Milwaukee battery powered tools, all the plug-in tools seem to just have more power with 220. Go figure, right? What? Like a man. Yeah, so when you take a shock from the wall, it gets you twice as hard. What? Like a man. Okay, so I got it started in there. Obviously it's not the perfect shape, but what we're gonna do is push it in with the press and it'll force it to the right shape. Either it's gonna damage the uniball or it's gonna push this in the right shape, but that's the only way that's gonna work out. All right, it's not going perfectly straight yet, but it is kind of going, so I'm gonna go a little bit further and then pull it out, and then I don't know how I'm gonna straighten it. I guess there's not much I can do, really. That ball's kind of stiff in there. We'll see what we can do here. I need 2 hands for this job. Just had to find the right combination of sockets. Get that in that socket so it has a recess. We'll put the socket on top, and then we'll push it through there. Problem is it's not really round, so it's putting pressure on weird places. So the middle of the ball is kind of stuck, but once I get it pressed in there straight, we'll go over and wiggle it around inside of a bolt, see if it'll straighten itself out. All right, let's test this thing out, see how it does. Put it up here. Nope, it's the longer bolt, that one. Put that in there. See if it moves. Oh yeah, it moves. It's tight now too. It had some play before, now there's no play. It's just tight. It's like new. We just need to do that on every bushing on the car. That's how you refresh your bushings. Just squish them in a press. Nice. All right, now we can put that back together. All right, so I gotta come pull a suspension arm off another car to fix the one that's on the other car. And so this is Pintu's warehouse. He's got other cars here. He's got so many S chassis that he's got to have 2 warehouses for it. I grabbed a bunch of tools that I'm probably gonna need. We actually came over here first, checked out what we needed. Then I went back and grabbed the tools that I need to come pull the arm off. It's just a S chassis suspension arm, it's not that hard. But check out what he's got in here. Look at that thing. We're definitely not taking the arm off of this. This was all done with Sharpie by an artist here named Dusneves. Super cool car. Look at that. Sorry, super cool boat. Not quite a car. Everybody knows an R33 is more of a boat than a car, but that's a one-of-a-kind paint job. You're not gonna find that anywhere else. It's got the initial D theme livery going on. Every bit of it painted by hand. But check this out. We are, oh yeah, that too. The Boss 14. I just gotta pull this front arm off and then we can go back and modify it. So it looks like this arm is probably also slightly bent, but not nearly as bad. And so I think it'll be just fine. We can straighten that out. But once I took this off, I realized that this has probably been hit a little bit. But really what matters is out here, because I think that's straight enough. I don't see any, this doesn't appear bent on the back side, just on the front. So we'll straighten that out, plate it, cut that, extend that, and then it should be fine. All right, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna take the bent arm in the saw, we're gonna cut it right there, because I wanna try and take advantage of this part that's already welded. That way we can only do one weld, or we only have to do one weld. Focus. And then I'm gonna measure from that hole to the cut and try and match it on this other arm that we got, so we can do minimal modification, keep that ball joint, and everything from the other one. This, obviously I've gotta cut that off, so I'm gonna remove that. The other one has a nice bushing, so I don't know if we'll try and press the bushing out and swap it, but we'll see how much time we have. But I'm gonna get this going and then get the other arm lined up. One thing that I didn't used to understand about these arms, or at least like I totally missed it, is being straight. If you weld it and it's off this way or this way, right? That's gonna affect your caster big time. So I don't have a fixture, but I'm gonna try my hardest to keep it as straight as possible. But also when I measure caster, like obviously, you know, you can adjust out what it has there, but it would be ideal to have the arms as straight as possible to not have any caster issues. Okay, so I got my safety glasses, my welding glasses on. I gotta weld at this arm. Yeah, it fits. All right. One more side. We already got the top done. Got the bottom done. So one more side, and then we'll get this all finished up. Let's go. All right, we got it all fixed up. See if we can see it in there with no light. Got that welded, got everything put together. Got the heim joint on that all fixed up. So now I just got to do the old B-wick nick alignment with some tape measures and an eyeball, and we should be good to go. What's crazy is this the welding cart has more camber than the car does. Look at that. So it's another day of drifting, and guess what? It's raining again. It's literally the next weekend from the last drift event we did, and it's been pretty good all week, not a ton of rain, and then as soon as the weekend hits, boom, here comes the rain. So it's probably gonna be what we have to deal with today. The good thing is this track is really hard on tires, so if we have rain, it's gonna help save the tires, but I wanted some good dry drifting. So we got 2 days of drifting. Hopefully at least one of these days, or part of one of the days, is dry. So we have some good grip to go tandem. There's gonna be 4 drivers this weekend. This is a private track that Walter bought, and he's trying to make it into a public track, but he's running into all sorts of hurdles with the government trying to make it public. So it's cool that we get to go test it out and kind of see what it's all about, and hopefully shine a little bit of light and spotlight it so that when it does open, people are interested in it. Let's go check it out. right, we arrived at the track, and of course it's raining. This looks like a really fun track. It's gonna be awesome. I noticed on the trailer that this rear wheel is towed in pretty hard. So I'm gonna go adjust that. This one looks pretty straight. Straighter than the other one. So I'm gonna go make an adjustment. We just put gas in it, so I wanna hit the track and see what it's like. Okay, we're here in Walter's workshop. We got the S14 up, doing a little bit of alignment stuff. This is the guy that invited us out.
Yes.
This is his Ebisu in Portugal. Beautiful place. I love it. We'll go check it out. Yeah.
Yeah, go have some fun. Take the car out.
Scott, we're gonna take a look around your workshop a little bit. I mean, it's a normal workshop if it's a mess, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Nobody has the perfect workshop. It's always, you gotta have room for stuff. S13, BMW, body kit, just stuff. That's great. That's what you expect to see. Nobody wants an empty shop, right? You gotta have stuff. You gotta have stuff.
Yeah.
JZX subframes on the ground. Like, you gotta have stuff. Oh yeah. It's just normal stuff.
Yeah.
I love it. It's to have a tire machine to mount tires, right? A tire machine and tools. What else do you need? And then a track right outside the door. That's perfect. This is what dreams are made of, right?
And the house next to it.
All right, we got the alignment somewhat squared up, and now I'm getting the tire pressure set. I didn't even check it last time. So I'm setting the front to 1.8 bar, and the rear is 1.3 bar. So hopefully that works out in the wet. We put 265s on it. They're pretty worn out, but it's also wet again, so we'll see how the car does with 265s on it. But I'm gonna put the GoPro on my helmet, and then we'll go do some laps. Let's get it. So first few laps were awesome. Obviously it's wet and slick, right? But with those 265s on the rear, I can't believe it. That car grips up. I mean, for the wet, right? But another thing I noticed was, thank you. Another thing I noticed was it feels like the engine is coming loose from the engine mounts. So we're gonna go check that out. In the other video, we saw the wastegate looked like it was vibrating a lot, which obviously if it's a solid motor mounts and the wastegate's vibrating, then there's obviously a problem with the engine mounts, and they're solid engine mounts. So we're gonna pull it in the workshop, lift it up, check the bolts to the engine mounts and make sure that that's all right. We've got another S chassis meeting.
So.
Those were some crazy laps. It's so crazy in the wet. You just go and go and go and go and go and go. The tires don't care. It's really just about if the car can handle it and if the tires can handle it. And in the wet, it seems to work just fine. Those are some fun laps. A lot of fun. Now it's drying out. Today's like rain and then dry and then rain and then dry and then rain and then dry. So some of the parts of the track are getting actually like a little bit dry enough where you get too much grip. But it's pretty fun. But now it's lunchtime, so let's go have a Portuguese lunch. Track is wet, so we stopped for lunch. We got our Brazilian chef, Brazilian style food. Look at this. What do we have? Intercost, ribs. Hey, Con, pronto. We got meat, and we got meat, and we got meat, and we got the Brazilian guy cooking it all. And then Portuguese style, there's always bread. I love it. I love it. All right, so we're stopped in the middle of the track now. We had some good laps going, and then I dropped a tire, and then it debeated. So instead of finishing the lap, we're gonna go get the jack and just come out here and swap the tire right on the track. Those are some solid laps. We came down through here pretty fast, and I was like trying to put it on Pinto's door really hard. And then I made a mistake. I spun out. There was a guy behind me, and oh yeah.
Let's just walk the track, I guess.
I thought we were gonna crash, but he ended up. We ended up just barely touching in the front. In fact, I didn't even look at it yet. But his bumper literally got stuck inside this bumper. Ooh, yeah. Could have been worse. Could have been worse. Second crash. We got a backseat ride along. Hey! Come
Oh my god, getting a ride. No seats. Taxi.
Taxi. Now the sun is coming out, and the car has a ton of grip. It's crazy how fast that car is. Absolutely, absolutely insane. But I'm gonna go take a lap in Walter's car. It's a CA18, pretty stock engine with some steering mods and some suspension. I'm gonna go shake that down and see what it feels like. You wanna tell us about the car?
Yeah, I can tell you a little bit about it. It's a missile. Just drive it.
That's it?
That's it.
It's a CA18?
Yeah, it's a CA18. It's got a little bit of engine job on it. It's got pistons, it's got some cams. And
A little bit.
yeah.
What about the steering?
Steering is all done by me. Just cut and weld,
Cool.
chop it up and make it. And
Yeah.
It's got enough lock.
Yeah.
But just as I was saying, it's, I don't know if it's the weather with the wet or whatever. It's
Just wants to slide.
just wants to slide.
Now it's dry. It's drying out.
Yeah.
All right, let's
See
go.
the smokes.
Yeah. Walter's gonna go show us how it's done. He's gonna take the car and do some backies on this corner. Show us how the track's really supposed to be driven. Almost. Again, this
guy's always in the dirt, pushing the limits. And he's the guy that has the truck to pull himself out, so now he's got to go get his truck.
Look, he's at it again. He's in the dirt. We got the chaser to pull him out, or the Mark II is going to pull him out now. All right, that's it for today. What a blast. What an awesome track. It dried out for a little bit, and that car is fast. When it's hooked up, when it's dry, it is fast. Crazy how fast it is. And that was on, I used 265s this morning and then 245s this afternoon. And it's fast, super fast. But once again, we tightened the engine mounts earlier today, and by the end of the day, the shifter was moving quite a bit, which they're solid mounts, so it shouldn't be moving. So that means we gotta go check them again. We're gonna drag the jack down there, go work on the car, and then figure out what we're gonna do tonight.
So it turns out that it's actually the transmission mount that came loose and jumped out of its place, so the whole transmission was moving around. There's no way that's good for it. So we gotta figure that out, put some bolts and nuts and whatever to make that work, but I knew something was wrong. These engine mounts look like they're okay. There we go. Yeah, these engine mounts, they're like Delrin solid mount bushings. But the transmission mount is also solid. But the bolts came out, so we'll get that figured out.
All right, guys, it's another day on track. Cars are all ready. It's actually a dry day. Yesterday was wet all day long. So I think we're gonna use a lot more tires today, but it should also be a lot more fun driving. So maybe less quantity, but more quality. So yesterday was like absolutely a blast, but it was just so slow on the track. So today we're gonna have a lot more speed. This guy showed up with his wagon, and actually, now that I'm thinking about it, if you park this wagon next to that Mark II, I'll bet you they're the same length. In fact, I'm gonna go get a tape measure. Oh. We gotta figure this out. I'm on a mission now. Somewhere here. There it is.
Last one that you used there.
You gotta measure it.
3 meters?
3 meters.
If it's enough.
If it's long enough. Let's measure from the center of the rear wheel to the back of the trunk. To the very back. What do we got? In inches. 48? 4 feet.
48.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's check the wagon.
It's no bumper, but
It's less.
it's
The
less.
Chaser's longer. The Mark II is longer than the wagon. Yeah, but if it, okay.
I know the car, so
Maybe it's the same.
No. The car is don't have
With the bumper.
with the bumper. It's probably like that.
So it's still less.
46 and a half, 47.
The point is, the Mark II is longer than this wagon. It has more. Let's check the wheelbase. Okay. Center to center.
108.
Inches?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh man.
What?
107.
No.
Yes.
Okay.
Can you check?
Is it 107?
Yes.
Yeah? 107 and a half?
And believe me,
Yeah, this is 1 inch.
put the volante direito. Está a virar bocado para cá.
It's close, it's close.
Em direito ao
It
volante.
changes?
Yeah, a little bit. Este carro, em direito aí o volante.
It's almost an inch longer.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
No. Yeah. 1 inch. That's significant.
Yeah. What?
Huh?
What's going on?
Okay, so your car,
Yeah.
from the center of the wheel
Yeah.
to the bumper,
Yeah.
is longer than this one.
Yeah.
You have more.
So, over
You have more trunk, but the wheelbase is longer on this car.
Gotcha.
I was looking like. Yep. I had to measure it. So it looks like I'll be working on the car today instead of driving. I'll show you in a second, but I went to go look at the rear alignment, and the rear subframe's broken in half. So obviously I want to fix that before next weekend when we go to Lozada. So I gotta get that done today. Today's the best day to do it because I'm gonna be doing stuff the rest of the week. So looks like we're working. So you see where it's cracked. Watch when we jack it up, it'll move. Yep, that's a big crack. And this side's cracked. The only thing holding it is that little bit right there, which isn't very much. The factory Nissan welds. So I'm glad I saw that, because if not, it'd be a repeat of my drift week when my differential fell out. And I don't want that. So since we're here, we got the workshop, we're gonna go ahead and plate it, fix it. And the nice thing is, this ugly European rear bumper missing cutout thing is actually functional for once, because we have access to the car
Makes it a lot easier.
instead of having a low bumper. So this will be nice. Okay, so we're gonna use this stainless plate. We'll cut these off 4 inches. He's under there doing the first welds right now.
Manila, do we have a light?
No, you start welding, it makes light for you. You were doing this yesterday, all right? I don't want to. All right, so this side's welded up.
Alright.
Now that side's pulled into shape. I think what was happening is that since that was broken, it was allowing both toe arms to move out.
And that's why it was so
And so it was
fast.
giving active toe, which was made this car really fast. Check that out. We're all fixed up. That's not going anywhere. And it's stainless steel, so it won't rust this time. But the only problem now is that these are probably a little bit out of alignment, so I gotta check the toe and then make a change on that. But if I was driving all day yesterday with the toe flexing around, I'm sure it'll be fine today. Mais uma volta.
Estava a fazer barulho.
Yeah, it has a little bit. It's not completely dead. The temperature? All right, we're at the track today. Just hanging out. Today's like a really calm day. What's nice is that it's still dry. So the conditions are a lot different than yesterday. There's a lot more grip on the track, and it allows like a lot more better driving. But oh no. Whoa. That's not good. But it allows for a lot better driving today. But of course that means we're going through more tires. So we're hanging out, and guess who showed up? It's Diogo Correa. If you guys have watched my other videos, I made a video of his Mercedes. No, not Mercedes, BMW with a Mercedes engine. Super cool. A lot of guys have been asking questions about that. He's driving the same car in DMAC. And he's doing really, really well. We just found out, unfortunately, last night his van burned to the ground. Like from nothing, it just like caught fire and burned. And you had parts inside. Parts like championship parts waiting to go for the season, cylinder head, a bunch of fiberglass parts. That's bad, really bad. Really bad. So But he came by today anyways to come drive with us. Super cool. We got some good laps. I'll put those right here. So I was gonna make a little video about this Mercedes diesel, the one that we measured the wheelbase of, but I guess I'll do it a little bit different. So he just came through here, a little bit inside. By a little bit, I mean enough to rub right there with the center of the car. And then this is what we've got. That's a really cool car. It's a diesel engine, it's got a hood exit exhaust. It's all cut up, and now it needs an oil pan. Hopefully just an oil pan, not an engine. That's probably gonna make this part of the track a little more slick. The only thing I'm thinking is this is quite the waste of used oil. That oil could be recycled and burned inside the engine of that car. All right, end of the day. We had some awesome laps. Alex let Diogo drive his car, and then we were doing some tandem laps. And then, of course, both of us at the same time on the last lap. I blew a tire, then I pulled off, and then he goes blowing past me, and then initiates immediately and blows a tire. So what a way to end the day. We're gonna load up the cars. The red car needs just a little bit before the next event. Look at that, 3 weeks in Portugal and 3 different weekends drifting. I didn't even plan that out. I planned on 1 and now we got 3. This is awesome. But that red car, like, I'm able to drive it now like it's my right hand. It's super awesome. So we just gotta do a little bit of work to it and then be ready for next weekend. But that's it for today. So when I went to roll up the end of the strap, I started walking, and literally this is the longest strap I have ever seen. Come on, get off my leg. The longest strap I've ever, I mean, mine are pretty long, but this is like, I'm almost in France now. If I went any further, I'd be in France. I don't know how to measure in meters, but that's gotta be like 100 meters at least. That's it for driving this weekend. We're off to our next stop, next adventure. We're going to Tomar, which is one of my favorite places in this country. I spent 6 months there, and we'll go check it out tomorrow. This is our rental car for the weekend, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. This is a U.S. imported 240SX. They did not make coupes in Portugal or Europe at all, so this is definitely 100% American. It's got a KA under the hood, which never came in Europe. It's kind of a unique species of Nissan in this country. And to top it off, it's got an automatic transmission. Would you look at that? Brown interior, clean dash though. And I won't even tell you how much this car's worth in Portugal. But yeah, it would blow your mind what it's worth. But on to our next adventure. Let's go.